Hey, what's up, guys? It's the boys of OUTspoken, and we're here. We're back to review episodes 4 and 5 of Fire Island. Sorry, we've been kind of behind on it lately. We've been going on vacation. We've been working. Mm-hmm. Bitches are busy, okay? Booked. So we're gonna break it down for episode 4 and 5, all in this one episode. So here we go. Let's do this, ladies.
Okay. All right. Well,
episode 4.
Well, episode 4. They come back to the island for the weekend. They say they're gonna have a really big party. That's kind of the premise of the episode.
And everyone's down for it.
Everyone's down for it. Everyone's on the same page.
It's a tea party, right?
They call it the tea party.
The tea party.
Right.
There won't be tea, it'll be all shade, but there was a tea party.
Right, well, there's still the tension between Patrick and Cheyenne. Mm-hmm. Patrick still falls kind of away because last week Cheyenne didn't go to his thing. Becoming a recurring theme for Cheyenne, not seeming to care that much about people. So kind of right off the bat, them interacting together, Patrick was kind of calling him out and being kind of passive-aggressive. Little comments. Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
Cheyenne girl, why are you enforcing the stereotypes and the ideas of what people already think us LA gays are like? Like, girl, stop. Yeah, flaky,
self-centered,
and self-centered.
Look, I get it. I feel like, but for $30,000, I'll flake the president.
Well, I mean, if that is the
good point, girl.
Say something.
Right, exactly.
I feel like
communicate,
and especially if I don't know you like that. Like, girl, I've only known you 4 weekends. I'm sorry, I had business.
Right.
And that's what telling you. Like,
he could have at least said it though.
Yeah, you know, like I love Miss Cherry, and I'm all for her. Good luck on the next season if you can try to make it. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
but
that's the thing. He wasn't upset because Justin missed it too. But Justin had communicated that to him and he understood
it. It comes across as shady as if you say, "Oh, I'm going to be there," and then you're not.
I think that's everyone's problem with Cheyenne. They don't feel that he cares that much about.
I'm just kidding.
And that's what I was going to say. I can relate with Cheyenne because yes, I do flake as well.
Yeah.
And so when they had that little discussion in the what was it, like the kitchen or something, I understood where Cheyenne was coming from. He was like, well, I just met you guys. I'm not gonna fucking change my plans just to accommodate you. You know what I mean?
And I agree with you on that too, because I also felt like that Patrick was kind of playing up on the whole thing, like, we're supposed to be friends, we're supposed to do this. And he was just like, girl, I just met you. Cut the shit. Like, but it is disrespectful, friend or not. If you say you're gonna do something and all of a sudden you can't communicate it, don't be an ass.
Look, we've all flaked. But if I'm not flake, I'm gonna let you know, bitch, I'm not going.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if it's 5 minutes before.
Right, and I feel...
Right. Well, no, shit happens, girl.
Shit happens.
The only thing about it is, I think Patrick does. I know, you know, he's coming for him as being a passive aggressive, but I kind of like that he was calling him on it a little bit because Cheyenne doesn't seem like the kind of person who's called on his shit that much, and he got really worked up. Like, why are you getting that mad? Like, I know Patrick was doing the most.
He doesn't like to lose arguments.
Right. Yeah. I know he was doing the most, but he was staying calm and just like, oh, girl, like, you never come, and you know, like. It was passive aggressive.
Because he knew that Patrick was right.
But exactly, and that's why I appreciated it. Yeah. Cheyenne didn't want to admit that he was wrong a little bit, or you know. So I didn't mind that Patrick called him on it. Yeah. But I do understand if you got a job, you got a job. You got to make that money.
But to call him out all the time, I feel like anytime Patrick's on the screen, he's calling out Cheyenne.
Yeah, it was a little excessive, the episode.
Pull him aside and say, girl, like, you think that's right, that's okay, like, that's not okay. Instead, he was trying to be catty and throw little, you know, subtle hints of shade here in front of everybody. Yeah. That girl, like, don't
and that's not the only shade Patrick's bringing. He's also shading Brandon by keep bringing the guy that Brandon was talking to. He keeps bringing him around to all these events.
Well,
what do I think about that?
That's the next big drama of the show. Like you said, I mean, Patrick and Jalen is his name, the guy. I guess they were friends. They live on the island. So he did know him before, and they are friendly. But it's kind of a weird dynamic now that Brandon has supposedly told him that he wasn't feeling him.
Right. And that's that is the discussion that they were having on the beach when Brandon and Patrick actually came together and was like, and Brandon was like, look, you knew that we were kind of talking and things. Why would you go ahead and, you know, still be interested in him while I'm talking to him? Now, do you guys feel like Brandon was being childish when you brought that up?
Here's the thing. I see both sides.
Yeah.
I can understand, like, Brandon does need to be called out on the fact that you can't just play with people's feelings and emotions and lead them on and then all of a sudden turn around the following day and just flirt with God and everybody. Because people have feelings, you know?
Especially when the guy is there and
and you invited him.
Right,
you know
exactly.
What? But here's the thing. Did Brandon realize that he was coming off that way? You know what I mean? Like, maybe Brandon's just a flirtatious guy who just likes to talk to people and have fun.
And that's a part where I agree that he did need a little bit of schooling on it from somebody who was a little bit older or somebody who's been through, you know, who's been in his situation and also the other side. Because it's not fair to make somebody feel that way, and giving him a pass on his age isn't the right thing to do either, because that's just telling him, oh, it's okay to do that to people.
Right.
But the way Patrick and Justin, not so much, but just a little bit. I felt like because they knew Brandon, they should have just pulled him aside and said, "What are you doing with this guy? That's not right. Like, that's not fair that you're leading him on."
Told the guy,
that
he wasn't just. He doesn't think that.
Maybe they're on the different page.
Yeah,
and I get it, but it wasn't his place.
Exactly.
I felt like, you know, it's not your business. Tell Brandon and talk to him about it. Even though Brandon doesn't see that, he also felt like Justin was just being jealous. I'm like, no, he's just.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah,
I didn't
he's
like
actually
that.
just trying to school you and say, don't mess with people's feelings. And look, I get it. I was young and dumb, and I was like, I used to talk to guys, and they'd be so like into it, and you know, it'd be fun for me.
Right.
You know, there wasn't that communication in the beginning, like, I don't want a relationship, but at the same time, we'd be hanging out and fucking,
and then
fucking, and you know,
it creates a weird dynamic.
And then it's like, okay, well, we're doing all these things, but
we're not a couple.
Just drop them.
Right.
And I realized I was hurting people, and it wasn't right. And it was like, these people kept reaching out to me like, wait, well, I thought it was something. I was like, oh my God. And then that's why I became single for 4 years, because I was like, okay, if I'm not ready for a relationship, I'm not going to act like I'm in a relationship with people who I just like.
Right.
And I don't see them going further, because at the end of the day, you're playing with someone else's feelings.
And that comes with age, girl.
It does.
We all get it. It comes with age.
Because I think we've all, or at least I have, been on both sides of that. I've been the Jalen before, where maybe I have a friend with benefits, or like, and I think it's more, and they feed me a little bit enough to keep me along, and don't quite just cut me off like they should. And I've also been in the position of Brandon, where, you know, you kind of want to have your cake and eat it too, but then you're a cuddle buddy, but then you know they're catching feelings a little more, you know? So, like you said, it's live and learn, and I do think Justin was coming from a place of, I'm older, I'm a little wiser, just, you know, trying to care about other people.
On the beach, though, he was still leading him on, even though uncomfortable with him being there, but then he's like, well, I still want to
maybe.
Out.
What did he say?
Yeah,
who knows what could happen in the future? No. He's still playing that in-between game. That's what it is with Brandon.
And Brandon deserved to be called out on that 100%.
He's still playing that in-between. He may have mentioned, oh, I don't want something serious, but then you're still flirty, maybe in the future, spend the night, come to this party.
We can hang out.
Yeah, no, you can't play it both ways. You either tell him straight up, like, look, dude, we can fuck and nothing else.
Go ahead, B. Look at B.
Well, okay. I can relate with Brandon on that aspect, because I myself do the same thing. I will, if you're interested in me, we can hang out, all that stuff, great. And it may seem like I'm leading you on, but I just like your company. I just like you.
Do you think it's fair?
Yeah, exactly.
But if you know that person has a deeper feeling for you, or attraction to you, or wants more from you,
I just feel like, you know, if I'm not getting the same energy, you should just get the hint.
Do you think they're just better not being friends at all, just because you know he's a little...
I can be friends with a person who likes me. I have no problem doing that.
Right, it's easier for you, but a person who
why
likes
do you think?
you.
But do you care about their feelings?
I care about their feelings, but if I'm already saying I don't want that, I just want to be friends, and you want to keep on insisting that we have a relationship, then that's your problem, not mine.
Do you say I don't want that and then suck his dick the next day?
Well, I mean, dick sucking can happen. But
that's where it can get confusing then if someone does have feelings. Because like I said, I've been there, and with someone, they're like, oh, I don't want a relationship, but we can fool around. Okay, fine. But then, you know, then they'll say something to reel you back in, like, oh, maybe we'll be boyfriends one day, or oh, come over, or I miss you, or come cuddle. Right. They make it more of a sweet thing to keep you there, and that's when it becomes a problem for someone.
And it's being on that end, girl, it is not the nicest feeling. Like with my ex-girl, it was constantly like building me up, and then when I was like, well, what are we? It was like, why are you being crazy? What is this? We're nothing. We're just hanging out. We're just having fun. That is not fair. It's not okay.
It all goes back to
you know what will happen? It will happen to you.
Yeah.
You will fall in love with somebody.
What you're saying. There's a difference between like a friend liking you and you feeling like, okay, well, we can be friends once he still feels like I'm not interested. That's different. But when you're hooking up with someone and you're actually giving feelings, like it's almost like you're together. Almost.
Yep.
You almost feel like it's a relationship, but then they're like, oh, this isn't what this is.
Right.
They almost make you feel silly for thinking that, even though you're doing all the actions.
Right.
Well, it looks like I have to delete some people off my phone.
Oh,
break some hearts. Break some hearts.
It's better to
It's better to cut and run so nobody's gonna get hurt in the long run.
I promise, Brian, I'm not gonna try and make you top me anymore.
Oh my god.
Wait, let's not give our viewers false. She's a bottom, so y'all tops, come for her. You bottoms, bestie status. I'm throwing my girl a bone.
Literally, a bone.
It's totally off topic a little bit, but don't you love that people, like our viewers, kind of get an idea of already what we're like individually, so if they ever come at us, they kind of already know what to expect?
I disagree with that because there's a couple of viewers who I've met who don't really know that.
Well, you know, girl, some of us just want to turn you out.
Well, you
girl.
get
Maybe
you
that's
give a trade when you're out.
Yeah, I do get a lot of trade vibes.
Until she gets a drink and it's like,
And then she's booty popping on the table.
Exactly.
Her vagina spread wide open.
she's like, wiggle, wiggle.
Y'all saw that, right?
I might have been a go-go one night.
Girl, stay
It was one night only.
It was a slow night as well.
There was a really sweet moment on the beach between Kassan and Justin, where, you know, Justin was opening up again about, you know, kind of his troubled times. He got out of a relationship and then the cancer scare, and he was just at a really dark point in his life. And, you know, he told Kassan he tried to kill himself, and, you know, he just appreciates Kassan being such a good friend for him and being able to be there for him through all of that. And I think that's important. That's an aspect of the show that I really like, because we can all relate to that. It's building those relationships with people and really being there for people in the tough stuff. You know, between all the drinking and the sleeping with each other and all the mess, but really having a brotherhood with people.
And not only that, but just being vulnerable. You know what I mean? Being vulnerable and saying, I'm going to take this time to really open up myself to you, and hopefully you accept it and receive it. And Kassan did.
Yeah, because he's a good person. Kassan's a good person, easy to talk to. And we've all been through things that's like, where you feel like, oh man, life isn't going well around now.
Right.
I know for me personally, like, there were suicidal thoughts, especially in my younger years, just because, like, I wasn't in a good place. And it's like, so when you're that low of a pit, you're very appreciative of a friend who you can easily talk to and just kind of like take this in and be like, tell you I'm thankful for you bringing me out to this house because I'm in a different place. I'm on the beach flapping my dick around.
In a Speedo.
That wasn't me a few years ago, and I'm in a different place.
Right.
I'm just so grateful because I just know how it feels to be in the bottom of the pit. Like, what am I going to do to, like, oh my God, now I'm comfortable. I'm in a good space. And you just can't help but to feel grateful.
Yeah, it was such a relief, and I think that's why he got so emotional. Like, because I'm the same motherfucker. I could be so happy, but when I get overwhelmed with happiness, I'll get emotional and cry like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, my life is I don't ever want to go back to that place again. I feel so good. I just thought that was a beautiful moment. It showed, you know, the brotherhood that you know, happens in our community.
Right.
It showed the fact that, you know, even as men, gay or straight, that you can be vulnerable, you can open up about the things that hurt you. And I think that that's something that society as a whole can learn from.
Right. So, what did you guys think of episode 5? It was kind of another emotional, it was a sweeter episode. Not quite as much drama. Because it was family day. It was family day. Kassan's mom came into town, and Justin's parents both came into town.
Who were adorable. Justin's parents were so cute. They remind me of my family.
I loved it.
His dad did remind me of his
Yes,
dad.
oh my God. His dad reminded me.
My mom would be the one like checking out all the gorgeous gay men with chiseled bodies, particularly the black men. Me and my mom share that in common. But no, it was just so adorable.
His dad, you guys have nice physiques. You guys all have. That's so sweet. Like that's cool. That's
doing
really
the dad jokes and just being like a loving dad.
Yeah,
right.
And Justin has such a great smile on his face, knowing that his parents were there to support him
Yes,
all the time.
yes.
Right.
Totally.
And you can see he gets a lot of his characteristics from his dad.
Yes.
His dad's all shy. Yeah, you could have breakfast if you were here on time.
Right. Dad came in and made dinner for everyone, and people came late, so you saw that. It's that big Italian family mentality.
I love it.
Yeah, and you know, you got to hear a little more of Justin's story as far as like, you know, him just like being more comfortable now. He's wearing a Speedo in front of his parents, and a lot of people may not think that's a big deal, but it takes a lot for a family to be accepting of their gay son, unfortunately, in today's world. It does take a lot, and people, just to see them just so proud, there comfortably, no complaints, I loved it.
I loved it.
It was nice. It was nice.
It's very special.
I also love Kassan and his mom.
His mom.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
You see where he gets his heart.
Yeah. And the smile and and sense of humor.
His wisdom. Because his mom seems like a very smart, strong woman.
And his mom, she went through so much. You know, she
Oh my gosh.
She was pregnant with him at 16.
My mom had me at 16.
Right.
And she had an accident. She was shot in her neck.
Shot while pregnant with him.
Oh, that's crazy. That's actually crazy.
The fact that Kassan seems like such a very well-rounded person and a very successful person, he's a perfect example of how you can rise above, the adversity, and your past doesn't define you. You make your future for yourself, and he's been very successful, and he really does seem like a really genuinely great guy. So,
he's bae.
Yeah, well, he's hot too. I mean, he's gorgeous.
His mom is the type of girl. His mom's the type of girl you can talk for hours with.
Totally, probably.
Cute little kiki.
Totally.
Maybe even a kai.
He's coming for your mom.
She's so crazy.
Really cool, really easy to get along. I love how the whole family just had a cute dinner with no bad vibes.
Right. So it was a episode of just love.
It really
I felt
was.
the love through the screen. I really did, as if I was speaking to my parents.
And I feel like we needed that because unfortunately, not a lot of gay men or women or trans get that love from their family after they come out, and it's unfortunate that it's that way. And this is just showcasing look, they're still your kids, still the same person. Get over it.
Yeah.
Right.
It was nice seeing parents that really do support their child.
Yeah.
Because it was family day, and some of the cast got to bring their family on. Some of the other ones didn't get to bring family, but it made them open up about why why their family wasn't there, or also just made them open up about the history that they have with their family, you know. And I haven't always, I'll be completely honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of Cheyenne. But when he opened up a little bit about how his relationship was with his mother and her being an alcoholic and all those things, I was like, that explains so much about Cheyenne. I just think he's hurt and he's dealing with a lot of that stuff, and it made me be more sympathetic and I connected with him more.
Okay, totally. This episode I definitely related to him a lot more, just coming from that background, not having a present father figure, coming from a family, coming from alcoholism and things like that, and trying to always fight against that. I actually have a little bit more respect for Cheyenne for opening up, like you said. It was the first time. I think this is what has caused some of the tension in the house with him, with the other guys, is they've been wanting him to let his guard down a little bit and communicate with them and embrace the experience. You know what I mean? We're on a show together. We have this one summer. Yeah, we're not all best friends, but let's get to know each other and have this time together and have this brotherhood in this moment.
And he opened up and he
it was
did
nice.
that.
Yeah, it was really nice.
He let one break down, and
sometimes all it takes.
That's how I relate to Cheyenne in that sense, is because he didn't have the best relationship with his mother growing up. I was taken away from my mother after my dad passed away, and I had to live with my aunt, and so I didn't have that father figure. So it sucks, you're just never the same after that. I was 11 years old when my dad passed away, and it was just really hard to take, and it never gets easy. And so when I moved with my aunt, I thought it was better in the beginning, but it turns out it got really bad. We moved to Phoenix, and we lived in 8 different places in a year, and it was tough.
So that's
literally what.
It was tough, and we struggled, and everyone thought things were better, but behind the scenes, I was going through a lot of shit with this woman, and my brother, and so I get the sense of not letting anyone in too easy. I do get that. I can relate in that sense, but I'm just happy that he's getting a sense of community and trust, and so I do get it, because it's tough, especially when you don't have your parents there as a foundation. You almost feel like you don't have a home, almost. So Cheyenne, you're doing okay. You're learning.
The moment when they all sat on the beach together and watched the sunrise or sunset, and they're all that was a really we need to have a OUTspoken go watch the sunset, have a bonfire, we can all share stories, and but I thought that was a really sweet moment, one of the best ones of the show, definitely so far.
Even Jorge told some of his story at dinner table, because he was actually a little hurt that they were fighting Brandon and Cheyenne, about
petty shit.
It's about the trashier part, the room or whatever, the trashy house, or bringing guys over, and then Jorge's going through because it's the anniversary of his father's death, so he's this is all petty compared to the real shit.
Right. Well, that's what kind of kicked off the episode and kicked off the tone of it. Guys, shut up. There are serious things in the world. My dad died last year. This is his birthday. I'm consumed with this. And I think that sort of opened everybody's eyes up. It happened at the beginning of the episode, so it probably made them all a lot more susceptible and open for the whole weekend. So it was really, I think it was a really good bonding experience for everyone this weekend. I feel like
it was so fresh, right? Like,
right. Oh yeah, right. And it was
like,
just,
even if it wasn't, like, I'm telling you, that date is always gonna stick to you. It's always gonna be a hard date. Like, my dad died on April 1st. It's April Fool's Day, and it's supposed to be this day of jokes and like fun. And I try to make the best of it, but you can't help but at least to have to be like, wow, like I'm missing this important piece, you know, that my other half, you know. And so I understood, and especially because it was so fresh. So I'm just like, I just felt I couldn't help but feel so much sympathy for him, and like he was so vulnerable, and I loved him for just being able to talk about it.
Yeah, definitely. That's one thing I want to applaud Fire Island for, is like really allowing each cast member on there to really open up and be vulnerable, because I think it makes the audience connect with them more, you know. Instead of just looking at them, it's just, you know, just a bunch of guys who like to party, you know. There's so much of their story, and people connect with that. So good job, Fire Island.
That's what we go back to. We've said this about logo shows before and Prince Charming, and we want to see those moments. We want to see the real life experiences. We want to relate to those people and have, you know, reasons why we connect with them, and showing their family histories and their struggles. That's what we as an audience connect with, and that's what I think we really appreciate it. And I definitely really liked this last episode of Fire Island.
It was a good episode. I loved it. I want to see more of that.
Right, exactly.
Well, I don't know, next week.
Which reminds me, you know us, we can't help but be a little
I can't help but be a little. So we had this really sweet, nice episode this week. Next week, it looks like toilet drama again. Sorry, but it does.
Go into detail.
I will. Well, another who's who of West Hollywood, which some of us are familiar with, is going to make an appearance on the show. I guess he dated one of the cast members, and it looks like it's going to be a mess. That's all I'll say. I just saw the preview.
And we'll see. We're not going to go and jump the gun right now, girl.
But it looks like, oh God, back in the gutter.
Yeah,
here we go.
Back in the gun.
Anytime
Here we
you
go.
bring an ex around and I'm supposed to be on vacation, it's going to be bad.
Especially when it's an overly dramatic, fame whore, thirsty ex. So it's going to be drama. Well, stay tuned. We'll review that next week. So let us know what you guys think of the last 2 episodes of Fire Island. Sorry, we've been kind of doing this bi-weekly. If you guys want us to keep doing it, let us know. Let us know, are you digging Fire Island? Do you like our review? Should we keep doing it? We're going to keep doing it for now. We'll see what happens. But stay tuned. Let us know what you thought of the episode. And thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
As long as they're not wearing rompers, I'm good with it.
Oh, stay tuned.
Next week, we're all gonna wear rompers.
We're doing a romper episode. Stay tuned.
Romp season is
Romper
here.
season.
That's why I told my R's. That's such a hard
romper.
Romper. I'm always like wampo.
Yes! That's cute, bitch!
Don't buy it. Trying to talk to Trey. Yeah, do you have a size 12 and a wampo?
Yes!